Welcome back, officers of the public. It's your Coruscant Underworld Police Chief, APGAINS. I, every night at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, do live streams. We do roster reviews. We help all you guys out with your rosters. If you want to come hang out. But I've been noticing an eerie trend among a lot of players since I see thousands of accounts all the time. It's pretty easy for me to pick up trends that a lot of players are participating in because I see all of your accounts. I actually know what your accounts look like. And I'm a little upset. And I'm not like upset like, oh, god damn you are terrible. I'm upset in a disappointed parent way. You know, like you come home from school and you hand me your report card and I see all C's. And I'm just like, you know, I'm sure you tried your best. I'm a little disappointed. You just didn't quite meet my expectations, right? The point I'm trying to make is lots of people, and this is exclusively only people over 4 million GP, a lot of the younger accounts that are under 4 million GP. Of course, you guys aren't going to be able to keep up to this, and I have no issue with you guys falling victim to this. But I spent like an entire month talking about how the Interceptor is going to be one of the most important things that a free-to-play player around the mid-game, 4 million GP up, could do at all. Like, it's just hands down, by far, the most important. And I didn't see a single Interceptor in the last couple weeks, which means that a lot of people who could easily have passively gotten a 5-star Interceptor by now just simply didn't. Now, whether that's you hate Conquest so much and you didn't bother to do any of it, sure, if you don't like the game mode, that's fine. But a lot of questions come up from these exact same players. They say, APGAINS, I'm really dominant in characters, but I'm really struggling in fleets. Can you help look at my roster, help me figure out, like, what should I do to fix up my fleets? And then the first thing that I look at is, you know, they have a Relic Thrawn, right? Because they went for, I don't know, Sith Eternal Emperor or something like that. Like, they have a Relic Thrawn, so their Chimera is super fast. I go to their Empire, and a lot of times they have, you know, the TIE Bomber maxed out, the TIE Advanced, you know, highly relict, of course, because Vader. The TIE Fighter is doing pretty good, and then they have like a maxed out Imperial Shuttle and like a decent Gauntlet. And I look at the rest of their capital ships, and, you know, they have either the Negotiator or the Malevolence, or sometimes both. Maybe they have a really weak First Order team, and they're just like, I'm struggling. I'm trying to make my way into Kyber. I don't know if I'm not good enough. What am I doing wrong? And I always just look them in the eyes, and I say, it's the Interceptor. The Interceptor takes the Empire fleet from C or B tier, depending on your relic situation, to A tier. It's better than the Negotiator, or on par with the Negotiator. It's better than the Malevolence. It boosts the fleet for free, mind you, because you can have it at 5 stars or whatever, and your your second sister could literally be level 1. Like, if I wanted her to be level 1 instead of level 85 gear 1, it doesn't matter, because you don't need to actually use the ship. It just needs to be there, right? It just needs to exist in your reinforcements. You don't need to level it up. You don't need to do anything with it. You never need to actually call it in to the battle. It just needs to exist for you guys to get the cooldown reductions, the turn 1 reinforcement, the turn 3 annihilate, right? And a lot of people are like, APGAINS, you know, I'm not in Kyber yet. I don't need 3 fleets. What's the big deal? Well, what it does allow you to do is, let's say your opponent has a really strong Negotiator fleet. You can use a really weak Empire fleet against a really strong Negotiator fleet and wipe the floor with them with good banners. And what do I talk about all the time? We have 3 currencies, time, money, and will to live, but let's focus on time and money here. If you're a free-to-play player, you're not only battling, you know, the time element because, you know, you have limited time, you're also battling the money element. Like, you can't spend a bunch of money to get stuff really quickly to kind of alleviate some of the problems in the here and now. And oftentimes, if you're winning your GACs, you're going against opponents with bigger rosters. Maybe they had more time. Maybe they started playing earlier. Maybe they spent more money so they could get their characters faster. Whatever it is, the only way for us to punch up farther and farther and farther in Grand Arena, you know, being in Kyber, whatever, if you're, you know, low GP, and just wherever you are in the game, getting better. The best way to do that is to extract value from your roster. That's why I talk about math, and I talk about how we plan for the future and how we always want to use good value teams and stuff like that. It's no different here, right? This is the same thing as getting an early CLS, right? You know, getting an early CLS, it doesn't need to be great. You can undersize max banners if you're very early game. It's going to be mathematically impossible for your opponent to beat you because you're using only teams on offense that get better than max banners, and they just can't compete with it. Like, they literally just can't compete with it, mathematically speaking. We're just too efficient for them. It's the same thing here, is, you know, a couple extra minutes of your time over the course of a couple weeks in a game mode that I will argue I don't like either. I don't like Conquest. I hate playing Conquest. I powered through it a little bit so that I could get the Interceptor because I knew that, you know, I haven't been playing forever. I haven't been playing for 5 years. I don't have thousands of dollars to spend on this game, you know, to get my roster better and better. And I know that I'm punching up so much to where, you know, all of my opponents are going to have 3 or 4 more Galactic Legends. They're going to have really good ships. They're going to have 2 to 3 to 4 million GP more. And I need to have those value characters to even have an opportunity to compete with the guys that I'm facing. And I understood very immediately that this was going to be that opportunity. And I feel like, you know, a lot of people didn't see the entire, you know, ad campaign I did for an entire month about why this is the most important thing for free-to-play players in the mid-game. And I feel like that kind of went under the radar. And I guess if you're watching this video, I'm just urging you to realize the value in this ship and, you know, get it, basically. Like, get an extra crate. Like, maybe you're farming for Malgus. You'll passively get more Interceptor shards. That's awesome, right? If you don't care about Malgus, you're not doing Conquest, you know, you're not going to get the Interceptor, you're not going to get Malgus. Maybe if you care enough about Grand Arena and you're free to play and you haven't really been playing for 5 or 6 years, so your roster is 4 to 5 million, maybe 6 million GP, and you're wondering to yourself, how can I get better ships? How can I get more value from ships without having to do the pain of, you know, farming up the Imperial shuttle? Because let me tell you, there's nothing I hate more than farming ships. It sucks. Like, please give me, I actually got a good pull. I guess I got streamer loot here. The game realized that I was going to complain. But like the last week, I've gotten 0 of these shards, except for today. So apparently I'm a very lucky boy. But, you know, I realized that my Empire fleet is going to need to be a lot stronger. You know, if you look at my selected characters, obviously my Jedi Knight Luke needs to come up. But who are the other characters that I have marked? Hux, his capital ship. Thrawn, his capital ship. Mando, I need him, Bam, I need him for the Executor. Kylo Ren Unmasked, I need him to basically hard carry my First Order fleet. Like, aside from Jedi Knight Luke, who I literally just unlocked, and Iden Versio, who I have favorited not because I want to get her up, but because she shares a shard with the Vulture Droid, which I want to get up so I can improve my Malevolence fleet. Every character except for Jedi Knight Luke that I'm working on right now is 4 fleets. And that's intentional, because in order to punch up in Kyber, you need to have really good fleets, because you're never going to have the roster that your opponents have, because your opponents are going to be way bigger. They're going to be a lot worse than you, obviously, skill-wise, but they're going to have a lot bigger accounts. And since CG is trying to price out Kyber to get people to spend more money, we have to fight back against that. We have to go for high-value things like the Interceptor to kind of counteract the evil deeds that Capital Games is trying to force upon us. Now, it's massive PP May. If you want to subscribe, we're trying to get 20,000 subscribers. It's not going to happen. If we do, I don't know. Maybe I'll throw a little pizza party for all of you guys or something like that. But thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I love you, and I'll see you later. By the way, like the video for Ballsack Bugs Bunny. He has a nice mustache now.